Well, it's all done, ready to go together. The flywheel machined up beautifully. All credit to Myfordboy's aluminium zinc mixture there. That really does machine well, that stuff. Even I can get a good finish on that, and that's saying something. Now, another slight change I've made to Myfordboy's original plans is I've threaded the crankshaft at both ends, 2BA, and I've also threaded the flywheel. Now I intend to use some very low hold Loctite to hold the flywheel onto its thread and the crank onto its thread, and I've also made up a little tiny pulley to go on the end just in case we decide to use this to drive something. That's always assuming it actually runs, and that's actually made up from Retro Steamtex home cast aluminium. So yeah, well, we're ready to put it together, so let's put it together. The little Myfordboy Wobbler engine is finished. Well, I've still got to make the base for it, but that's just a little bit of woodwork. But the actual engine itself is all together and done. And I have to say, I am very pleased with it. As I said earlier, I quite like the rough casting, polished rough casting finish on the brass. So I haven't machined all of the casting surfaces. I've simply just cleaned up the bits that needed to be cleaned up, and I've left the rough cast on the rest of it. But I think it's turned out really well. And as I said, as I was making it, I have made a few changes. I've gone with imperial measurements because all of my reamers and most of my tooling is imperial, so that's why I've gone with imperial measurements. But it doesn't really make a lot of difference because they're very close to the metric measurements. But yeah, I'm extremely pleased with how it's turned out. A little tiny pulley I put on there, I think is in proportion, and we'll see whether or not it's capable of driving anything. I haven't done any Loctiting yet. It's just put together. So yeah, I'm well pleased with it. So of course the next question is, does it work? Well, I couldn't resist it, and I have actually run it on air, and yes, it runs superbly. I'm really pleased. As I said before, I'm not good at making things from plans. I nearly always cock it up, but this one, touch wood, so far it seems to be okay. I've had it running down to about 10 psi, and any engine as far as I'm concerned that will run down to 10 psi, absolutely nothing wrong with it at all. So yeah, I am going to steam it. Obviously, I have soldered in the exhaust and inlet pipes, steam pipes. So yes, it's all capable of taking steam. So I need to get the base made, and then I'll show you it running on air, and then we'll try and run it on steam. Well, it's finally done. I think it's turned out okay. There's a little lump of mahogany. I had a small bit of mahogany offcut, which I just spun it up on the lathe to round it off to make a simple base for our little wobbler engine. But I think it has come out very well indeed. I must say, if you're into model steam engines and you'd like to build one, but you don't have the ability to make your own castings, then definitely check out Myfordboy's channel, because this is just a really nice little set of castings, and unlike a lot of the commercially available casting sets that cost hundreds and hundreds of pounds, these are relatively cheap. So please do check them out. I'll put a link in the description to Myfordboy's channel. So yeah, it's all done. So we're going to have a go at running it on air to start with, but I am going to run it on steam. So I do apologise for the racket, because you know that my little compressor kicks out a rather large amount of noise. There we go. That's about 10 psi. It's running quite happily at that pressure. really do need to get myself one of those nice quiet compressors like Rob over on Zanudo reviewed recently. I've got to get one of those, no doubt about it. So there you go. That's the Myfordboy Wobbler engine, all done and running on air. So the next thing is to get it running on steam. Okay, test set up for steaming. One of my old boilers here, which doesn't have a steam plant attached, but it's quite useful for driving other engines, and got it connected up. So let's let it build up some steam and hopefully we can see this thing running on steam. Well, I think we've got some pressure up. Yes, look at that. Excellent. Superb. Now you can hear how truly quiet this engine is. Isn't that amazing? It's just purring along. Now I obviously don't know what pressure that is, but this boiler doesn't produce much oomph, so turn it around a little bit. Oh, I'm just so pleased with that. That is amazing. We'll wind the pressure down a bit. There we go. Oh, just brilliant. That is just so brilliant. Absolutely silent. That is just, this is a lovely little engine. Oh, it's probably a little bit too much. Too little. There we go. Oh, I'm just so pleased with this. Now, I know I've said this before, but if you really are interested in Model C engines, you want to build one yourself, but you don't have the ability to make castings, please check out Myfordboy's channel, because this is just excellent. Right, let's see if we can get it to run something under steam. Now, what better accessory than the Myfordboy Bantor? Absolutely brilliant, look at that. I think my Bantor needs a new blade. It's a little bit floppy, that blade. But there you go, I mean, that's just perfect match up. Myfordboy engine, Myfordboy Bantor. Perfect. Yeah, this is really definitely too floppy, this. Anyway, there you go. That's the Myfordboy little wobbler engine running under steam and driving the Myfordboy Bantor. I just absolutely love this engine. It's just wonderful. So, I hope you've enjoyed this whole thing from start to finish with the little Myfordboy Wobbler. And as always, thanks for watching. Cheers.